Hi everyone, welcome to another edition of Have You Heard? I'm Richard, and today we're listening to Fleetwood Mac again. Um, we're going all the way back to May 1970 to listen to this single, little tattered single. This was the 7-inch single of the Green Manalishi with the two-pronged crown um, on the Reprise label. As I say, released in May 1970. Now, I've got this also on the 2013 remaster and expanded version of Then Play On, which was the last Fleetwood Mac album that Peter Green played on, which had been released late in 1969. And for this remaster and special edition, the record label added Oh Well Part 1 and 2, which was only a single at that time, and the Green Manalishi and the B-side World in Harmony. So that's on this particular CD. And then just to show I've got the full Monty, here's the original Then Play On album with the British cover. Um, Now, the two covers are really quite interesting. I always thought that this was a US cover and this was the British cover, but I might be wrong. If anyone knows for sure, please let me know. Of course, on that vinyl, the Green Manalishi is not on there. None of those singles are on. Um, but I mean, this was the last track that Peter Green recorded with Fleetwood Mac. And it's a tragedy that he stopped making commercial music, let's put it like that, from 1970 onwards. But what a guitar player, what a songwriter, what a singer he was. And he was blues through and through. And of course, many people believed that he was the greatest British blues guitarist. And that his legacy was unfulfilled, if you like. He ran away from the music business far too early. But anyway, let's rather listen to the song, which is so heavy and so bluesy. It could even be heavy metal. It is simply magnificent, and his twin guitar work with Danny Kerwin is absolutely fantastic. Let's have a listen to it now. I'm sure a lot of you remember this, but let's have a good old listen. Let's wallow in this magnificently atmospheric guitar song. The Green Manalishi with the two-pronged crown by Fleetwood Mac, released in May 1970.
When the day goes to sleep and the full moon looks, and the night is so black that the darkness cooks, then you come creeping around, making me do things I don't want to do. Can't believe that you need my love so bad. But come sneaking around, trying to drive me mad. Busting in on my dreams, making me see things I don't want to see. 'cause you're the Green Manalishi with a two-pronged crown. All my trying is up, all you're bringing is down. Just taking my love, then slipping away, leaving me here just trying to keep from following you.
Wow. Very dark, very dark and mysterious. And of course, there are loads of. Is it playing? Stop it. Gosh. Sorry, I'm moving on to World and Harmony now. I never know whether to press again or just stop. I must get it right. Anyway, enough of my travails with Spotify. Sorry. Um, a really dark and mysterious song, and of course there are many theories as to what the source of the lyrics were. And Peter Green says that it's about money. It's the Green Manalishi is money, and that money was the source of the discontent which led to him leaving Fleetwood Mac. Um, he wanted to share all the money out to people who deserved it, and the rest of the band wanted to keep the money for themselves. Well, that's the the common opinion. It sounds a little bit too straightforward for my liking, but there we go. And shortly afterwards, of course, he took a lot of acid, didn't he, at a party, and was never quite the same again, and went back to somebody else's house and had drinks spiked with more drugs, and he he kind of um, lost his mind a little bit. It's very sad. Uh, Interesting, the tribute concert when he passed away, the tribute concert in 2020, they played this song, and Billy Gibbons of ZZ Top sang, and Kirk Hammett of Metallica played the guitars and played on Peter Green's old guitar that was made back in 1959. Greenie, it was called. Um, so that's very nice. Uh, I've played one Fleetwood Mac song before on the channel, and that was from this album behind, Kiln House, which was the album that followed when the band tried to get back, well, tried to recover from losing Peter. And it's pretty much Danny Kerwin's album. Of although Jeremy Spencer puts in a few songs, Jeremy Spencer was very um, what's the word, traditional blues, and he wanted to go back to the 50s sound. And then he didn't play on the Green Manalishi. He hardly made an appearance at the recording studios for this, and even for Then Play On. He was missing from a lot of that. And of course, he left after Kiln House. But have a listen to Station Man, which we did on the channel from Kiln House. It's a cracker. In fact, that album is a really nice album. And Danny Kerwin, who also suffered from problems a few years down the line, was an extremely talented young man. Oh, I mean, he was a prodigy, really. And Peter Green realized that from an early time and brought him into the band. We have to mention John McVie and Mick Fleetwood, don't we? Such an underrated rhythm section. Um, all their career, the Fleetwood Mac career, they've been there at the bottom of everything. Excuse me, super. I just love this song. And of course, I was 16, nearly getting on for 17, and just understanding what Fleetwood Mac were all about, sort of right at the end of this first phase of their career. And I got a job. I left school. I got a job and worked with a young man who was about 2 years older than me, but was a Fleetwood Mac fanatic. And he would lend me all their earlier albums, and really blues, really full on blues. But they were so popular in the UK. I think one year they sold more records than the Beatles did. And of course, after a few fallow years, the Bob Welsh and the Bob Weston years, up come Buckingham and Nicks, and they take over the world. And of course, I've got quite a few of that era Fleetwood Mac. Put a little note in the comments if you'd like me to play any Fleetwood Mac from Fleetwood Mac onwards, Rumours, etc. Always happy to play those. So yes, please put some comments down and let me know what you think. Do you remember the time when you first heard this? I vividly remember it. It's my last couple of months at school and then working for the first time. And just being so influenced by people around me who said Fleetwood Mac are the band. And to have it all cut short somewhat, it was disappointing, but made for exciting listening moving on. Please like and subscribe if you've enjoyed the video. We've got 80 odd videos for you to dig into and have a look at in our playlists, and we put out a video every day. Excuse me again. The whole idea of the channel, though, is to create a community where we listen to music that maybe isn't quite as covered on YouTube by the reaction channels as they should be. Sometimes I just like to play music that has had an influence on my life and my musical journey, and I guess this is that one. And being able to show you a 7-inch single feels quite nice as well, because it just goes to show how old this music is and how cherished it is by me. I hope you've enjoyed it. Yeah, like, subscribe. We want to get out to more people. We want the algorithm to work for us. Put some comments below, and I look forward to seeing you on the next episode of Have You Heard, which will be tomorrow. Cheers, everybody.